for your entertainment and education. So here are voices from 1937. Voices sadly now silenced. Great performers, living again because you're listening to them perform live now.
One of the great news stories of the week, and one of the great enterprises of the age, is the round-the-world flight of Amelia Earhart. Tonight, Miss Earhart is in Java. And next Monday night, if she continues her flight on scheduled time, she will be here as our special guest in the Lux Radio Theater to tell you in person for the first time since her return something of her adventures on the trip. However, if Miss Earhart is delayed en route, she has graciously consented to keep her date with us here on July 5th. Sponsors, the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Walter Winchell and Joan Bennett in The Front Page with James Gleason. And if possible, as special guest, Miss Amelia Earhart. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood. Your announcer has been Melville Ruick. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
A-E-L-L-O. The Jell-O program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston and Phil Harris and his orchestra. The orchestra opens the program with Who Put That Moon in the Sky? It's grand to go to market these days when fresh fruits and vegetables are so plentiful and so reasonable. And it's even grander to bring them home and serve them in tempting combinations with Jell-O. For Jell-O makes such appealing desserts, either plain or with the addition of fresh fruit. And Jell-O makes such cool, tempting salads, too. Since summertime is salad time, here are a few salads that you can make with Jell-O. Fresh peas, carrots, and cauliflower in a mold of shimmering lemon Jell-O served on crisp lettuce. Shredded cabbage, thin cucumber slices, and celery molded into lime Jell-O is another swell vegetable combination. Melon balls and orange slices in orange Jell-O makes a glorious fruit salad. Why, even those few people who say they don't like salads change their tune when your salad is made with Jell-O. Jell-O is such a help with hot weather menus that you'll want to call on it often for desserts and salads. But whether you serve Jell-O for dessert or salad, always be sure you get the real thing. Genuine Jell-O.
Sure. Why should you be so tired? Why? Do you realize what 39 weeks in radio takes out of a man?
Well, you take something out of radio, don't you?
That's not the point. That doesn't tire me. It's those weeks of hard grinding labor.
Labor? Do you call what you do labor?
Well, I don't know what else you'd call it.
Now, look here, Jack. You only do one broadcast a week, don't you?
Yes, but
And that runs a half hour.
I know, but I read more lines than anyone else on the program.
We can't help it if you're a pig.
Now, look here,
And
Phil.
furthermore, out of the half hour, we do 15 minutes of music and song, don't we?
Yes, but...
And I take 2 minutes more to talk about Jell-O.
I know, fellas, but...
So, Mr. Tilly the Toiler, that leaves you exactly 13 minutes of work every week. Imagine, 13 minutes.
Well, 13 is unlucky, and you know it. Isn't he dumb, Mary?
I'll say. He's a regular Charlie McCarthy with blood.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Yes, sir, that's the best description yet.
And how?
Love bug will bite you if you don't watch out. And if he ever bites you, then you sing and shout. You'll go, here comes the bride.
That's what love is all about.
The love bug will bite you if you don't watch out. And if he ever bites you, then you sing and shout. You'll go,
little old lady passing by.
That's what love is all about.
You can't eat, you can't sleep, you go crazy. You'll just la-di-da-di-da all day. If someone wants to know why you're crazy, you'll answer,
I'm a little touched in the head.
the love bug will bite you if you don't watch out. And if he ever bites you, then you'll sing and shout. You'll go,
way down upon the Swanee River.
That's what love is all about.
you can't eat, you can't sleep, you go crazy. You just la-di-da-di-da all day. If someone wants to know why you're crazy, you'll answer,
Blood on the saddle.
you don't watch out. And if he ever bites you, then you sing and shout. You'll go,
Rah, 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 rah. Jello, jello, six, boom, bah. That's all that we care about.
Well, that's great. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this opportunity of thanking all of my listeners for their splendid support, my cast, and also the readers of Radio Guide for again making it possible for me to win the 1937 poll. I also want to thank my authors, Bill Morrow and Ed Boulogne, who worked with me on the preparation of my material. Mary, do you want to thank anyone?
well, if that cowboy in Texas is listening in, thanks in advance.
Good night, folks, and a happy summer vacation.
J-E-L-L.
Say, Eddie, what's wrong? Look at you. You're covered with dust and your toes are out of your shoes. You're usually so well dressed. What happened?
Well, Jimmy, remember last Sunday I flew to Chicago for the big fight?
Yes, I know. And you flew back?
No, I bet on Braddock and I walked back.
They're all carrying signs saying the love bug is unfair. It looks like he's being picketed.
Well, what are you going to do, Pinky?
Well, I guess they'll just have to do like Mr. Roosevelt does, listen to what they have to say.
All right, boys, open the door and let him in.
This is the Chase and Sanborn Hour, and this is Don Ameche.
And this is Charlie McCarthy.
Yes, this is Don Ameche greeting you for one of Hollywood's new stars.
Charlie McCarthy.
Please, Charlie. The world-famous skater, Miss Sonya Hennie.
Yes.
And for Ray Middleton...
He's a singer, too, eh?
Yes, Charlie, a singer whose baritone voice and dramatic talents make him one of the finest young singers in America.
This is Charlie McCarthy still, Charlie McCarthy.
Charlie McCarthy, all right, but never still.
Oh, you will have your clips now.
Greetings, too, from Dorothy Lamour.
Oh, it is your Lamour.
W.C. Fields.
Boo, boo, boo.
Edgar Bergen.
Boo, boo, boo.
And Charlie McCarthy.
Hooray, hooray, hooray.
Charlie, you're a great help.
I'm prejudiced. That's what my mother always says. Don't you, Mr. Bergen?
Now, don't be silly, Charlie. I'm not your mother.
No. Well, you've been a mummy and a daddy to me.
Yes.
And frankly, neither one of you know how to bring up a child.
And America's foremost conductor, Werner Jansen.
You know, I'm an MC, Mr. Ameche. Did you know?
Charlie, I didn't know you were an MC.
Sure, Charles M.C. Carthy.
Well, Charles M.C. Carthy, I suggest you and I join Sonya, Dorothy, Bill, Ray, and Edgar, and tap our feet as Werner Jansen conducts the orchestra in the hit tune, All God's Children Got Rhythm, from the Marx Brothers picture, A Day at the Races.
Is that so?
That was lovely, Dorothy. A calm to steel us against the coming storm, represented by Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Oh, yes, that's right, yes. Oh, dear. I'm not so stormy today. I'm just sad, that's all.
Oh, now come, Charlie.
Oh, please.
What's the trouble?
Oh, don't coax me, Mr. Bergen.
What's the trouble?
I'm just sad, that's all. Just sad.
I see.
Suffer. No one will ever know how I suffer.
I don't suppose so.
I won't tell them. It's none of their business, no.
Well, what's wrong?
Oh, please don't coax me.
Now, tell me, what's troubling you?
Oh, I wish you wouldn't insist on it, Mr. Bergen.
Well, now.
Please don't hold my hand, Mr. Bergen.
Well, why?
I don't know you very well.
Oh, yes.
You're hurting me.
Oh, now, come on now.
You.
What's wrong?
1,000 times nay.
All right. Well, certainly change that expression on your face.
What's the matter with my expression?
That long, sad face,
Yes.
that scowl, and there is your mouth hanging open, isn't it?
Well, you ought to know. You open it.
All right.
Now, I tell you, Charlie, suppose I tell a funny story.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't you think that would help you so you could laugh it off?
No, I'm too sad, Mr. Bergen. I couldn't possibly laugh today.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I might go as far as a tee-hee-hee. Yes. But never a ho-ho-ho.
Oh, no.
It's out of the question. I'm too sad.
Well, you must be sad. Yeah. Well, then, Charlie, I'll sing a song.
Oh, come now. I'm sad as it is.
All right. Wouldn't you like to hear my favorite college song?
No. Frankly, no.
Listen. Fill your glasses, boys, and drink it all. Drink it.
I wouldn't try it if I were you. I wouldn't even try it if I were me.
I ought to be able to hit that. We'll drink a toast, a toast. We'll drink a toast.
Is it a yodeling song?
No. I'm having a little trouble hitting the key.
Don't explain.
Yes, I need someone to start me.
You need someone to stop you.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll sing later on.
When I'm stronger.
Yes, all right.
Then you sing and I'll accompany you on the bicycle.
All right.
I wish I hadn't sold my clavichord. You should hear me play Pony Boy by Mozart. You know, boy? Maybe you'd like to... I also play Marbles by Cat's Eye and Aggie, a very snappy thing. Say, why don't we ever sing a duet, Mr. Bergen?
Well, now, a duet, that's rather difficult to do.
It is?
Yes.
Well, I suppose it would be for you, yes. It's all you can do to hold your lips still when I'm talking.
All right.
He's so sensitive about those things. That burns him up when I say that.
Yeah. Charlie, is it necessary to say those things?
I'm sorry.
All right.
After all, don't be so sensitive. All right. These people, they know you're doing the talking.
Yes, I know.
Oh, you're just a mess of nerves, that's all.
Yes.
I wish my Uncle Anthony was here. Then we could have a quartet.
A quartet? You mean a trio?
Well, he's so two-faced, I think he'd be a quartet.
But you never told me, Charlie, that you had an Uncle Anthony.
Well, he really isn't my uncle. For that matter, his name isn't Anthony.
I see. Well, can he sing?
A little bit, yes. But he writes, too.
Oh.
Yes, he writes.
What does he write?
He writes other people's names on checks.
Oh.
Bad habit.
Yes. Has he a pen name?
He has now, yes. It's number 46389. But he's still musical. You can't down him. He was head of the glee club at Leavenworth. Then he was at Ossining. Now he's at Sing Sing. He sort of made a concert tour of America. Oh, but what a voice. And hot singing, too.
Is that so? Does he swing?
I'm afraid he will this time.
Don't give up hope, Mr. McCarthy. There is still time for justice to be done. Remember, Blot, Blab, Bragg, and Pecksniff are still on the job.
Who is this man, Charlie?
Oh, that's Uncle Anthony's lawyer.
Oh.
He's handling my case, too.
Your case?
Yes.
Well, what case is this?
I have a slander suit case against Fields. Oh, I'll get him. I'll mow him down.
Yeah.
Drop last pint, I'll get him.
Now, listen. Do you think you stand a chance? Do you think you can collect?
Well, Blat, Blab, Bragg, and Pecksniff never fail.
I see. And which one are you?
I am Blob. Here's my card.
Yeah, there it is.
I am the third one from the left.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Bragg. Yes. Well, I'm very glad to meet you, Mr. Bragg. Just what is the course of procedure with this slander suit?
Defamation of character, alienation of affector, slander.
Yeah. And don't forget to throw in a couple of tuits and vizzes and habeas corpuscles, too.
Well, Mr. McCarthy.
Yeah.
For what amount do you wish me to sue Mr. Fields?
Well, I'd say, $12,000. He's used to that.
Why not start with $12 million? Then we'll have a chance to dicker.
You said something there. The man is dynamite. Just dynamite. It's sure thing. It's in the bag right now. We'll come down to 12,000. He'll still think he's lucky.
Have you any witnesses, Mr. McCarthy?
No, but I can get all I need.
Oh, no. That will not do.
No?
In all events, we must be ethical.
Yeah. Now, maybe I should get another lawyer, Bergen.
Fear not, Mr. McCarthy. Justice shall be done.
That's the spirit. We're going to get justice, and we don't care how crooked we have to be to get it. That's
Mr. Fields has caused a breach of etiquette, breach of faith, and a breach of friendship. Yes. We will try to collect. We may win a great deal, and then again we may land in jail.
Well, bust my breeches. Come on, counselor. Mr. Ameche.
Yes, Charlie.
What's the word with thee?
What wouldst, Sir Charles?
I wouldst the knockdown to yon knockout, my lady Sonya.
Oh, but certainly. No sooner said than done, ya.
Oh, what fun, ya. Will you introduce Bergen, too? I'm big-hearted. I don't care.
Miss Hennie, Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
How do you do?
Yes, Miss Hennie, it's a great pleasure to meet you. You know, I'm of Swedish descent. We're practically neighbors, you know. And the first time I saw you skate was in Norway.
Oh, how interesting. Have you been to Oslo, Mr. Bergen?
Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, I was in Oslo, Göteborg, Köpenhamn, Stockholm.
Nej, vad morsamt. Det är ett dejligt land, inte sant?
Ja, det är vackert.
Ja. I think so, too, yeah.
Yes, it is. And while in Norway, I visited Svartisen-fjord och Gudsvagnen.
Ja, det är vackert. Ja.
That much about it.
Ja. Couple of aliens here.
You must come home and meet my mother and have some smörgåsbord.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, sure, I think I go, too. Yeah, that... Awful clicky, these Vikings. Awful clicky. I'll get in on this watch name. Miss Hennie, my name is Charlie Swanson. That ought to help.
Oh, Miss Hennie, this is Charlie. Charlie's a great admirer of yours.
Yes, ever since I saw your picture, 1 in 1,000, I think it was.
Oh, no, you mean the picture 1 in 1,000,000.
Yeah, well, I saw it as a double feature, and they had to cut it down. Oh, Miss Hennie, I love ice, especially thin ice. I'd give anything if I could skate like you.
Can you not skate at all, Mr. Charlie?
Well, yes and no. But you see, my ankles are so weak. I'm practically skating on double runners. I don't have to have my skate sharpened. I just sharpen my ankles.
I would be very glad to help you.
Now we're getting someplace. Scrambergen, Auburn. Miss Hennie, do you fall down very often?
I did, but I was learning.
Yeah. Did you always land Sonya side up?
Well, Sonya time. But there isn't much time to decide how you want to fall.
Yeah, that's true. I always decide, but no matter what I decide, I always fall on the same spot.
Well, Charlie, suppose you skate away and rest on your laurels. Wait a minute. Quiet, Bill. Here's Edgar and Charlie now.
Oh, yeah, I see. They got the lawyer with them. They're going to try to frame me for slander. Watch me double-cross the both of them. Good evening, Edgar.
Good evening, Mr. Field.
Greetings, Charles, my diminutive little chum.
Hello, Mr. Field.
Oh, it's going to be a pleasant greeting. And greetings to you, Counselor. Pardon me for complimenting you on your beautiful blonde beard. Didn't you used to play the tuba in the House of David band? How's everything up at Benton Harbor?
Very fine, thank you, very fine. But let us get on with the case, Mr. Fields. I have come here to represent my client, one Charles McCarthy, to institute proceedings against you for $12 million.
$12 million, a handsome sum. No jockey was ever ruled off for trying. Go ahead.
Unless you are willing to settle for a round sum.
A round sum, yes. I'll settle for a round sum.
Excellent.
Always round, meaning nothing.
Now, don't be too hasty, Mr. Fields. We are prepared to press the following charges. Defamation of character, alienation of affection, loss of services, threatened intent to assault, battery, mayhem, and murder, et al.
Et al. Who? What al?
Mr. Fields, did you or did you not, on the 9th of May last, refer to my plaintiff, one Charles McCarthy, as a piece of sassafras root?
That's what he called me, all right. That's what he called me.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. We got him there. We got him. He said it. He admitted.
But sassafras fruit is very dear to my heart, barrister. I was weaned on sassafras root. I also gnawed on sassafras root instead of a pacifier.
Oh, how that man can lie. Don't believe him, Counselor. Go right ahead.
Mr. Fields, did you or did you not on the same day accuse my client of being full of termites?
Full of termites, yes. I remember. I answer in the affirmative.
See, he said that. We got
But there were extenuating circumstances.
Oh, sure.
Charles squirmed off of Mr. Bergen's knee 3 times that evening. It was not a threat. I only wished to warn the little nipper. I thought it probably had ends.
Did you hear that? Somebody's got their thumb on the scales of justice around.
Mr. Field, did you or did you not on May 16th last describe my client as a piece of grade B lumber?
How true, how true. Grade B lumber, Counselor, is very dear and near to my heart. Grade B lumber, my little grade home in the West. Pardon me, Barrister, whilst I shed a tear.
Yes, Mr. Field.
Yes, my old homestead was constructed of that material, modest little lean-to. We had no windows, but very large cracks in the wall which served the purpose admirably. Home, home, where I eat, sleep, and slumber. My little grade home, made of grade B lumber.
On May 30th, he said he would stick a woodpecker on me. Ask him to explain that.
Oh, it was merely a lark. I even wanted to give the little chap the bird.
Now, that's an insult. He does. That's what it means for that track. Go ahead.
Tut. He wished to present you with a meadowlark.
How true, how true.
But let's stick to the case. Mr. Fields, did you or did you not on June 20th threaten to drive a nail into the chest of my client?
He certainly did. He did that.
I did. I understood he was afflicted with grade B lumbar pneumonia. And thought his chest should be tapped.
Well, it's a logical jest. But I beg your pardon, my dear sir. Did you or did you not on June 20th refer to my client as being full of sap?
That's what he did. And that's what hurt me more than anything else he ever said.
Oh, you've got Charlie crying now, Bill.
Cease, my little weeping willow. Remember, a horse without hay, a cow without cud, a tree without sod, that is likened to a man without blood.
Talk. He's the most deceitful man I ever knew. Double-crossing buzzard.
Oh, cease, Mr. McCarthy. Very, very beautiful, Mr. Field.
And what's more, did or did not the little nipper threaten to clip me and mow me down? Did he not insist that my nasal organ was made of redwood? Accused me of being an addict of demon rum. I shudder at the thought. Have you forgotten that, my little plaintive?
No, I haven't. But then on the other hand, I tell you...
did I not refer to you as my diminutive little chum?
I didn't hear it.
My pretty little twig, my own flesh and timber. Did I not offer you my nose filled with nickels?
Yes, who's talking nickels?
A venerable of that fortune for a lad in such modest circumstances. No food to buy, Barrister. Practically no weather overhead. Not even a bath to take. Just a little sandpaper now and then. What a fortunate news, Sackman.
There he goes again.
The little chap does not go as far as...
So wait. Oh, there's no need of going any further, Mr. Fields. I understand.
Yes, you said it. And he said he's thrown every twig off my body. Explain that.
Quiet, Mr. McCarthy. Go on, Mr. Fields.
Thank you, Counselor. Thank you.
He called me a rat. He called me a punk. And he said that he'd fall me down. And he said he'd fall my arm off. That's murder.
I was only twitting. How could the boy misunderstand my gentle nature? How could one so young resort to such heresy? It's a fib, a downright fib. Pardon me for raising my voice, Counselor.
Mr. McCarthy, I cannot take this case. I will not take this case.
My Ameche has already been felled.
What brand is it? Maybe I can use it. What's the age?
I can see at a glance that Mr. Fields, the kind man, is the one who is maligned, who is injured.
Charles, my little chum, haven't I always been buried the milk of human kindness?
Sour milk, yes.
Enough! I refuse your case, Mr. McCarthy.
Okay.
I apologize to you, Mr. Fields, for taking your valuable time.
Thank you, Counselor, thank you.
And as for that miscreant, Mr. McCarthy, I'm through with him forever.
Oh, don't be too harsh on the little chap. We all make mistakes, Counselor.
Goodbye, Mr. Field. It's a pleasure for me to meet a man like you, a kind-hearted man. And I apologize for my intrusion.
Oh, don't mention it. Au revoir, Counselor.
I give up. This is too much for me.
Now, McCarthy, get your pencil and paper out and put this in your little memory book. You buckthorn in my side, you pump handle.
Wait a minute now. Counselor.
You skunk cabin. You stinkweed. Go away, you grub hacienda. You knotted pine, you yesteryear's discarded Christmas tree. You termite flop house. I hate every branch of your family.
Face, Blue, Flash, Flow, Fields, McCarthy, suited to standstill. Thank you, Edgar, Bergen, and Charlie McCarthy, and thank you very much, W.C. Fields.
Tell me, pretty maiden.
Tuning up for your big musical moment, Charlie?
Yes, and Mr. Ameche, my big moment is musical, and she's beautiful, too. Oh, Miss Lamour, have you a date for this evening?
Yes, Charlie, I have.
Oh, you know I like you, Dorothy. You're so different from the other girls. You talk to me.
Well, I'm afraid the others don't know you as I do, Charlie.
Oh, how true. How would you like to come up to my house? I'll show you my magic lantern. I have slides of early New York in the Bowery.
Picture slides of the gay 90s?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those were the days. Not so much worry and hurry and hustle.
No, but plenty of bustle and muscle.
Oh, yussle.
Yes, yes. Those were the days, my childhood days.
You must have been a beautiful child, Charlie.
Well, I was, yes. Why should I lie to you? My head was covered with curls and my face was covered with mud. I didn't care. Ishkabibble, I used to say.
You have a wonderful memory, Charlie. That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, it was. Yes, I remember when I played N-Man on the Gas House croquet team. That was a wicked game back in 1800 and...
As far back as that, Charlie?
Yes, maybe more. Yes, I remember we used to stop the croquet game to go and kill Indians on 42nd Street. They used to hide in the subway, the little rascals. I didn't know the meaning of the word fear then. I'd stick my head around the corner and I'd say, 23 skidoo, and then I'd run. Hold on to my scalp here.
Yes, Charlie, I remember it used to frighten me terribly, too.
Yes, you remember? When was that?
Well, back in 1800 in Umfrum.
Oh, it was. What were you doing in New York in 1800 and
Well, I was singing songs with those slides while you were killing Indians. Oh, those gay 90s.
You said it. I love my wife, but oh, you kid.
Those were the days.
Those were the days, and you can have them, too.
Before you two old veterans take us back to the time when you discovered America, may I call your attention to the fact that you must prepare to sound your A's, for Ray Middleton's joining us, and Werner Jansen's guiding us, and we're all going to have a gay time singing the songs of, those were the days, the gay 90s.
Pretty maiden, are there any more at home like you?
There are a few, kind sir, but simple girls and proper too.
Then tell me, pretty maiden, was these very simple girlies do?
Kind sir, their manners are perfection and the opposite of mine.
Then take a little walk with me, and then I can see what the most particular girls
I may love you too well to let you go and flirt with those at home you know.
Well, don't, my little girl, you see, I'll only want what you
not quite fair to them if you told them that you were
I
true.
won't care a pin for your sisters if you love me.
What would you say if I said I like you well?
I'll bow to you.
On bended knee.
On bended knee.
If I love you, would you tell me what I ought to do to please you
always be true to me.
If I love you, would it be a silly thing to do?
For I must love someone.
Then why not me? Yes, I must love someone really.
And it might as well be
you.
While strolling in the park one day. Uh-oh, trouble. In the merry, merry month of May. That guy, that's his part. I was taken by surprise by a pair of roguish eyes. In the moment, my heart was still written wrong. That's the way it goes. She gave to me. I detest flute. Of course, we were as happy as could be. Lay off the flute, you hear? Don't go until I'm ready, all right. I immediately raised my hat. A wise guy, huh? And finally she remarked, so help me, I'll mow him down, yes. I never shall forget the lovely afternoon I met her at the fountain in the park.
Tonight's stars are Walter Winchell, Josephine Hutchinson, and James Gleason. We had hoped at this time to bring you Miss Amelia Earhart. However, she has not yet completed her sensational round-the-world flight, so will be heard instead next Monday evening from the Lux Radio Theater, if she will have arrived by that time. Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. His mother named him Walter Winchell, but they call him the man who owns Broadway, the Burbank of the printed page. He made a halo of an orchid and turned a scallion from a vegetable to a stinging rebuke. He's the most original, most highly paid, most copied, and most widely known among reporters. When at a loss for words, Walter simply makes up new ones. To him, people don't get married, they middle aisle. They don't talk on the radio, they radio-rate. They're not glamorous picture personalities, but cinema actors. He's found that news walks at night, so he chases it in a car with a radio and a police siren. He's left-handed and does not carry a gun. Born in New York in 1897, he knew that a good education was essential to success. So instead of quitting school at the 4th grade, he patiently plodded through till the 6th. At 14, he was singing in a Newsboys Sextet, produced by Gus Edwards. His teacher was our musical conductor, Lou Silvers, who had to rescore the music every day because Walter's voice changed every 2 minutes, like a woman's mind. Walter got his first smell of printer's ink by publishing a small theatrical sheet called News Sense. It was the spark that set off the journalistic skyrocket, which has carried him along to his present berth on the New York Mirror and 136 newspapers from New York to London, Paris, and Honolulu. Starred currently in Wake Up and Live, Walter reverts to type tonight in playing the part of Hildy Johnson in the front page, when the Lux Radio Theater offers Beau Brummel, starring Robert Montgomery with Madge Evans, Leo G. Carroll, Bramwell Fletcher, and Jean and Kathleen Lockhart. As guest of honor, if she arrives in time, Miss Amelia Earhart will give us the highlights of her amazing flight around the world, which she is now completing. I mean inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Robert Montgomery in Beau Brummel with Madge Evans and an all-star Hollywood cast. Our prospective guest, Amelia Earhart. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood.
I figure women are just as dangerous as hard liquor. And Miss Seymour, I'm on the wagon, baby. As far as you're concerned, you taught me to love you. but now my lesson is learned, and I'm on the wagon as far as you're concerned. Your love was just loaned, dear, but now it's all been returned, and I'm on the wagon as far as you're concerned. So wagon wheels carry me on, ooh, and wagon wheels let me stay gone, 'cause you taught me to love you, but now my lesson is learned, and I'm gonna stay on the wagon, baby, as far as you're concerned. Wagon wheels, wagon wheels, keep on turning, wagon wheels. You taught me to love you, baby, but now my lesson is learned. You taught me, and I'm on the wagon, baby, as far as you're concerned. Your love was just loaned, dear, but now it's all been returned. You fooled me, and I'm on the wagon, baby, as far as you're concerned. So wagon wheels, carry me on, wagon wheels, and wagon wheels, let me stay gone, 'cause you taught me to love you, baby, but now my lesson is learned. You taught me, and I'm gonna stay on the wagon, baby, as far as you're concerned, my dear, as far as you're concerned.
This is the Jason Sanborn Hour, and this is Don Ameche saying hello.
And Charlie McCarthy saying cheerio.
Oh, kind of English tonight, eh, Charlie?
Yeah, but definitely.
I'm saying hello to everybody for Miss Zasu Pitt, whose delightful humor has made her one of our best-loved comedians.
Yeah, every morning she's in my grapefruit.
Yeah, who's in your grapefruit?
Pitt. Zasu.
Oh, Charlie. And for Hoagy Carmichael, who has a way of writing beautiful songs we never forget.
Aren't you going to say anything about Jason Sanborn?
Yes, Charlie. A good coffee.
Well, it may be only good coffee to you, but Ameche, it's bread and butter to Bergen and me.
Yeah, to all of us, Charlie, including W.C. Fields.
Oh, boo.
Edgar Bergen.
A mile hiss.
And Charlie McCarthy.
Hear ye, hear ye.
And Dorothy Lamour.
Lamour I feel, Lamour I like her.
And from Robert Armbruster, who conducts the Jason Sanborn Orchestra in the title song from Shall We Dance?
Thanks, Don. You certainly know how to spread out the welcome mat and make the fellow feel at home.
You know, Bob, Charlie was rather surprised when he saw you. He expected to find a real old-fashioned maestro with sideburns and dialect.
We wouldn't want to break the little fellow's wooden heart, would we?
No.
Oh, so I will speak thick and excitable.
Yeah. Well, the thicker the better, maestro. Well, now we go to work. Oh, the Bergens are coming around the bend.
Oh, Professor Armbruster, I want to thank you. I think it was very nice of you to be willing to sacrifice part of your valuable time to help Charlie with his music.
Yeah.
I'm confident that Charlie has hidden talent.
Oh, the stuff's there. It's mellow, but it's hiding.
Sure, Herr Bergen.
Get a load of that, will
I
you?
shall be happy to help you, my little dumpling.
What have we got here? Take the gum out of your mouth, Professor.
So I remember as a little fellow, student days in Vienna. I studied there in Vienna.
Oh, you killed me, Armbruster. You killed me.
Yeah, 12 years in all I have studied, when still I feel that I know very little about music.
Yeah, well, that's the way you impressed me, too.
I studied in Paris and in Moscow and graduated with honors from the Vienna Cardspieling Conservatory.
Oh, did you play contract or auction?
Yeah, and pinnacle, and also the violin.
Uh-huh.
And yet I perspired to greater height. At 21, I studied for 5 more years yet on the violin.
You know, you fiddled away the 5 best years of your life. You know that.
Yeah. How true and all that stuffing. Yeah. Now tell me, Charlie, are you acquainted with Mozart and Beethoven?
Well, I'll tell you. Yes and no. That is, I know them by sight, see? You see, I studied music for 2 years. Same piece, too. Still can't play it.
Well, no wonder you can't play it. You have no heart. You have no soul.
I haven't even got a piano.
But I thought you had a piano, Charlie.
Well, I did have one when things were going a little better.
Oh, I see.
And I was coming along fine, too, Mr. Bergen. I'd finished Mozart, and I'd started on Wagner when the piano went Bach.
Oh, I see. Well, that was unfortunate.
Yes, well, I don't care. They gave me a bad buy.
Yes.
Of course, I gave them a bad check, too.
Now, Charlie, as a student of music, can you explain what is important about the year 1756?
1756. Yes, of course. Yes. Now, don't tell me. That's quite a thing. I know it as well as I know my own name. Can't even think of that now.
Mozart was born.
I just guessed it. Mozart was born in 1756.
Ah, very good. Now, what happened in 1762?
1762? Mozart was 6 years old.
Yeah, at 6 years he gave his first recital. And while still a boy, he wrote 3 great operas.
Yeah?
Can you name them in their order?
Yeah, sure. First, second, and third.
Charlie, you're not taking this seriously.
No.
I think the boy maybe would like music what is more Amerikanischer. How would you like to play the Stars and Stripes forever?
I think it would become very monotonous. I say a verse and 2 choruses is enough of any song. You know, the more I talk to you, Professor, the less I care about music. You know that?
Yeah. You will regret this later on, Charlie.
Yeah?
How true, my Wiener Schnitzel. It is a part of life. Every human being wants first food, then clothing, and then music. What do you want, Charlie?
I'll take a corn fritter. Maybe I'm prejudiced.
I'm afraid so.
You see, I had so much of it at school. You know, Professor Rumduster. I played a duet with Skinny Dugan at the House of Correction.
Was it a recital?
No, it was a reform school.
That means that you play in front of an audience, you understand. A piano recital, an organ recital.
Yes. There was a piano recital.
And what did you play?
I just told you I played piano,
Austin Pepper is so chemical.
Yeah.
Professor Armbruster wants to know just exactly what you played on the piano.
Oh, so that's it. Well, our recital consisted of Wagner, Mozart, and mistakes. It was a duet, and what a duet that was, too. Yeah. We were neck and neck for the first 2 pages, with Skinny Dugan the favorite.
You don't tell me.
We were going along at a nice clip when we passed a sign that said accelerando, see?
Yes.
So we both gave her the gun, see?
Yes.
Well, believe it or not, we went so fast, we went right through the darn finish.
Is that so?
Yes. Skinny fell off the bench, and the end gate fell off the piano. I just stood there and laughed. Play, Professor, play. Oh, my. Trouble. Life is earnest, but oh, so sad.
Why, what's the matter, Charlie? You sound as if you lost your best friend.
Oh, it's not me I'm thinking about now. This time it's a change. I'm thinking about Miss Pitt. Oh, poor little Miss Hopper, my son. Wasn't that sad? She couldn't even get the man who wore the 14.5 shirt. Oh, that's sad.
Oh, Charlie, I think you're wonderful.
Hey, wait a minute. What is this?
A love. Life for me is nothing but unrequited love.
What again? Oh, poor sister. Say, but I know a man who's just crazy about you.
Oh, dear me. Is he alive?
Yeah, well, sometimes I wonder, have you met Mr. Bergen? Well, there is a very lonesome man.
I can understand that.
Yeah. I happen to know that he likes you. You could make him very happy, but he's so timid, you know. You'll have to be very forward.
Oh, I couldn't do that. I'm too backward to be forward.
Yeah. Huh? As a matter of fact, Miss Pitts, he really is in love with you. He's nuts about you. Go ahead now. Fess up, Bergen.
Now, what do you mean? In love, too timid. What is this?
I knew it wouldn't work. I never have any luck.
Oh, Mr. Bergen, are you going to stand there and deny that you weren't reading love lyrics last night?
Well, I was, yes.
Oh, how I enjoy poetry. I have written poetry.
Uh-oh.
Some of it even rhymes.
Yeah.
It's called To a Lover and His Sweetheart.
That ought to be good, yeah.
Oh, you two are both so one-ish, like a double, yet a single. There is duo, still it's one-o, like a vision in a dream.
Think you got something there. Well, just what in heaven's name is that?
It isn't much good. It's free verse.
Free, you wouldn't be able to give it away. Tell her about the one you wrote, Mr. Bergen. It's just about as good. No, really. Oh, come on. No, it was just a silly... Oh, come on now. Come. No, I'd rather not. Oh, come now. Come. You wanted the coat, huh? All right, then. It was just a simple little thing. Oh, that's clear to see. Yes. Your hair is like the clouds in a storm-tossed sky. See, that's nice. The blue of the Pacific is in your eye. That's the left one, the good one.
Oh, isn't that sentimental?
Yes. You can have your kingdom, your dukes and earls, but give me your teeth. They're just like pearls. Boy, that's really dynamite there. Take them out and show him. Go ahead. All right. Huh? There's more. It gets worse as it goes on. Your lips are like petals of a hothouse bicycle. All right. Well, that gives you a fair idea how Bergen writes. Now, don't you think Zasu would make someone a very sweet wife? Oh, I certainly do. See? See? Well, then what are you waiting for? There you are. Now let me set the wedding date. Wait a minute here.
Oh, my, this is so sudden.
What's the matter? What kind of a man do you want?
Well, I think he should be rather, sort of, kind of, in a way.
Well, that's Bergen. You can't describe him. That's Bergen. Have you ever known real love, Zasu? Real love?
Well, in a way,
Now, don't beat around the bush. Come clean now. Don't you believe marriage is a wonderful thing?
Oh, indeed I do. Mm-hmm. I think love is just lovely and so romantic.
Isn't that Ducky? Yes, and she bakes a mean hunk of donut, Bergen, too. How about it, Zasu?
It's not that I couldn't be very happy with Mr. Bergen, but...
Well, then what more do you want?
Oh, well, I don't think my husband would like it.
Yeah, wow. So, by the way, how is he, Zasu? Yeah, how? Hey, wait a minute. As Dan Cupid, I'm stupid. Truly on this requited love.
A short time ago, Hoagy Carmichael told us how he was inspired to write his songs. Well, here's another brand new one written with Stanley Adams, which was inspired by a very dear and close friend, an old felt hat, and written especially for us. So here we go. I love you like my old felt hat, always plain to see that you comfort me. I love you like I love my pipe and tobacco. Took a look at you and my heart went wacky. Think of how a bee loves buzz, and a hungry fly loves an apple pie. I love you, baby, just like that. Like a horse in the stable loves his oat, and a Tammany hauler loves to vote. But if you're not impressed with that, I love you like my old felt hat. I tip my hat to you, Dorothy. It's your turn.
I love you like my old chapeau. Oh, it's plain to see that you comfort me. I love you like I love my puff and powder. Took a look at you and my heart beats louder. Think of how a cow loves moo, and of Crosby who loves to boo-boo-boo. I love you, baby, just like that. Like a lone little shepherd loves his sheep, and the guy in the center loves to sleep. I think it's mighty time, you know. I love you like my old chapeau.
Well, it's your hat, Hoagy. Go on, put it on. Don't kick the hat, Charlie. There may be a brick under it.
I love you like my silk hat. Oh, it's plain to see. You're the top to me. I love you like I love to tease Ameche. Took a look at you and I yelled, she's peachy. Just like Willie Fields loves Spike. And a taxi cab loves passing life. I love you, Dottie, just like that. Like a lonely old miser loves his dough. Like a bald-headed bachelor loves the front row. But if you're not impressed with that, I'll never tell another lie.
Love you like my old felt hat. Oh, it's plain to see that you comfort me.
I love you like I love my puff and powder. Took a look at you and my heart beat louder.
Think of how a bee loves buzz and a hungry fly loves an apple pie.
I love you, baby, just like that. Like a lone little shepherd loves his sheep, and the guy in the Senate loves to sleep.
But if you're not impressed with that, I love you like my old felt hat.
Somewhere in a distant corner of the South Pacific is Miss Amelia Earhart, who had planned at this moment to be on the stage of the Lux Radio Theater. I know everyone hearing me now joins in our hope that the rescuers of Miss Earhart and her navigator, Fred Noonan, will reach them swiftly and find them safe. I've just spoken with George Palmer Putman, husband of Miss Earhart in Oakland. Considerably more encouraged than he was yesterday, Mr. Putnam says that after a careful check of all reports, he believes the flyers are on land. He adds that they have adequate supplies which should last Miss Earhart and Captain Noonan until the arrival of rescue ships or planes. At the end of this hour, we have an important announcement for you. But now, on with the play as the Lux Radio Theater presents Robert Montgomery and Madge Evans in Beau Brummel with an all-star Hollywood cast. Every week since October 1934, the play has been the thing in the Lux Radio Theater. With the rise of the curtain each Monday evening, I've hoped that our labors of the week would bring you another hour of glamour and entertainment. In the Lux Radio Theater, 28 men and women work every day of the week. Writers adapt for our stage the plays that you want to hear. Casting directors comb lists of talent, securing the stars and supporting cast that will best fit the roles. Rehearsals are scheduled regularly. We work each week, not with the same cast and the same play, but with new people and new vehicles for every Monday night. In the past year alone, 1,072 parts have been enacted in the Lux Radio Theater. 52 plays have been produced. The figures showing the number of listeners to our program during the year are truly amazing. Adding together the audiences of the last 52 weeks, check-up show that we have had over 600 million listeners. Of course, this huge number is accounted for by the fact that millions of our listeners tune in loyally week after week. We've enjoyed presenting this theater this year of drama over the air tremendously. It's been a year of genuine pleasure to us, as we sincerely hope it has been for you. But frankly, ladies and gentlemen, the staff of our theater is weary. Our sound effect man, always a master of understatement, said, "I do get tired once in a while." Our sponsors, being the kind of generous and cooperative people they are, readily agreed to a vacation period. So it has been decided that while so many of our audience are vacationing, we in the Lux Radio Theater, too, will have a holiday. Therefore, when the curtain rings down tonight, those behind the scenes will lay down their stage braces, and the script book will be closed for 2 months. Mr. Louis Silvers, our musical conductor, will put aside his baton and go as fast as he can to a favorite spot in Mexico. Our technicians, directors, and writers will all seek a change of scenes. Personally, I'll remain in Hollywood, where I'm about to begin the filming of my new picture, The Buccaneer. So I I hope for a little time at the ranch. Early in August, we all expect to be back in Hollywood making preparations for the new season. Already there are piles of manuscripts and lists of names, many of which we hope to put in lights on the marquee of the Lux Radio Theater beginning September 13th. There are people in Hollywood you want to hear. There are plays you want presented. I also know you'll join me in saying goodbye and good luck to all who've worked with me here in the Lux Radio Theater this season. I don't ask you to think of us during the summer, but I'd like to suggest that in September you be prepared to hear from us again. On the 13th of September, the lights of the Lux Radio Theater will flash on. Our curtain will rise on a new season, and we'll be at work with renewed vigor and purpose at the most pleasant task I know, producing entertainment for you. This is Cecil B. DeMille wishing you a happy summer and saying good night to you from Hollywood.
This is the Chase and Sanborn Hour, and this is Don Ameche greeting you.
You mean me, Ameche?
Yes, Charlie, greeting you and everybody for the sensational dramatic actress, Miss Gladys George.
Oh, I'm certainly glad as glad can be. She's here.
Yes, we're all glad Gladys is here. And that goes for one of the country's outstanding young baritones, Ray Middleton.
Figaro, and all points well.
Greetings, too, from W.C. Fields.
Never heard of him.
Dorothy Lamour.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Edgar Bergen.
I was slipping again.
And Charlie McCarthy.
The top, but definitely top.
The thing I like about you, Charlie, is that you're so self-effacing.
Oh, of course.
So write about efface and pay careful attention as Robert Armbruster conducts the Chase and Sanborn Orchestra in Johnny One Note.
Yes, and Charlie, and don't you regret letting them take back your piano?
Well, yes and no, Mr. Bergen, yes and no. Now, that piano was far from good, and I didn't help it any either.
No.
I tell you, it sounded like a rebuilt typewriter.
It did.
Yes. I think it was an old 8-cylinder harpsichord with a new paint job.
Is that so?
Yes, it was no good. I couldn't get more than 2 sonatas on it to the gallon.
Is that so?
That's all.
Well, just how far did you go with your music lessons, Charlie?
Well, my teacher gave me a piece called All My Life. And it took me nearly that long to learn it. Well, I tell you, it was so long. It was, it must have been, a lot of pages.
Yes.
Disgusting.
Yes.
Well, it took so long to play it. When I finished, my clothes were out of style.
And I suppose that was the extent of your musical education.
Well, no, not completely.
No.
Oh, no. You see, I played in church on a one-stringed instrument.
You did?
Yes.
One-stringed instrument?
Yes. One-stringed instrument. Do you give up?
Yes.
I rang the bell.
Oh, no. Well, that doesn't take much knowledge about music, does it?
No, but I know music.
You do?
Oh, I played in the school band.
You did?
Yes. We were all picked men.
But you know so little about music. How could they all have been picked men?
Well, maybe they picked me a little before I was ripe.
I see. Now, just what did you do in the band?
Well, I was in it. If you must know, I carried the front end of the bass drum. I got the job when the drummer dropped dead in his tracks.
I see.
He snared at me once too often. Isn't that awful?
Yes.
I just don't care.
No, I know.
Oh.
Well, I imagine it is fun playing on a school band.
Oh, it is, Mr. Bergen. You just don't know if you don't know.
I know.
And we had a bandwagon, too. I was head man there. I drove the horse. I remember the first time I hitched the horse up wrong. He got all turned around.
That didn't help any.
No. When I said get up, the horse backed up forward.
He did?
Yes. I think I had his suspenders on wrong.
His what?
His garters. I don't know what you call them.
Well, it isn't important.
I don't think so either, no. Well, anyway, I shall never forget driving down Main Street on the bandwagon. All the boys playing extra loud on Saturday night.
Yes.
Oh, what a night.
Yes. That must have been a sight.
Oh, it was.
All of you boys going down the street on that wagon.
Yeah.
What a sight.
Yes, it was. Until the wheel came off the wagon. Oh,
That must have been a disappointment.
Yes, it was. Well, of course, being Saturday night, we had planned on falling off the wagon, but not so soon.
Well, I hope you didn't hurt yourself.
No, you see, I was riding on the horse.
Oh, I see.
And what a horse. I didn't know a thing so full of hay could be so hard.
I don't suppose there was a band concert that evening, was there, after all that trouble?
Oh, there was. Of course there was. And the highlight of the evening was when I played Deep River on my balalaika. And if I say so myself, it was the highlight. Nobody else will say so. No. In the middle of the number, a squall blew up, and I was carried out to sea. I drifted for 3 days on an empty balalaika with nothing to drink but bilge water. All right.
That must have made a hit.
No, it didn't.
It did, no.
Well, I tell you, we did take up a collection.
Oh, you did?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yes, we took up a collection to buy a wooden leg for our new band leader. You see, we got $2.80. It wasn't much, but we only wanted tin money.
Tin money.
Tin money.
What's that? I don't think that was funny.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think it was funny?
No.
Of all the people in the world, you should have the nerve to stand there and tell me what I said wasn't funny.
Yes.
That's fine. That's nice. That's really nerve. When I pull a bad joke, you sort of move away. You pretend you don't know me very well.
Well, I don't know you after that joke.
No. Of course, when they come around to take pictures of me, then you come close enough. You'd think we were on a honeymoon. All right.
It is my humble opinion that the finest brass sections are in the bands of Casa Loma, Hal Kemp, Horace Height, and Ozzie Nelson. Ozzie, together with Tom Bennett, one of his ace trumpeters, has depicted in music the sounds made by our own subways here in New York. In fact, they called it Subway.
Thanks for listening to 1937 Part 13, the Soundscapes Audio Montage Series number 22 from When Radio Ruled. I'm Mike Gillette, your host. When Radio Ruled and the Soundscapes series are before TV productions. Copyright 2022.